Alright, hey guys, I'm going to show you the difference between a Duke number 2 and a Bridger number 2. Some pros and cons. All I've done to these traps is I just bought them new and I just dyed them. The Bridger number 2, I'll start with that. First off, what I like about the Bridger number 2 is I like its square jaws. I got offset with this, and I didn't get offset with that. No! You know, the dogs are fighting. But another thing I like about it is, you know, real heavy duty. I mean, just look how thick them jaws are. I mean, compared to the Duke jaws. I really like the base. They come with a base plate and a D-ring and 4 rivets. The springs on here are relatively strong. I really like how it's got a good thick base on there. I don't know if you guys can see that very well. There, see that bottom part right there? Or here you go, here's a good look. In the base is just all one straight long piece here. Nice, a good dog on there. You know, it's got some it's still foreign made chain, but I haven't had a problem with them yet. Got your trap tag on there, of course. It also comes with a swivel at the top and a swivel at the bottom. And like I said, you know, it's base plated, a lot more thicker, so you're not going to have any bending of the, I don't know what they call that right there, but, you know, you're not going to have any bending of that bottom part of the trap right there. Alright, next we'll move on to the Duke trap. Everything about Duke that they make is wrong. Compared to other traps. Actually, this is one of the traps that I've had for, I think I've had this trap for actually 4 years. I thought I grabbed a new one, but I mean, just look at the separation and the spring right there, and I've probably used this trap 3-4 times. I mean, I bought 4 of them right away, didn't even know what the heck I was going to do with them. But another one plus on the Duke number 2 compared to the Bridger number 2 is the pan size. Duke number 2 pan size stock is a lot bigger than the Bridger number 2 pan size. Another thing about the trap is the swivels. I absolutely hate these swivels. You hit them with the hammer one time when you're pounding in a steak, and they are just bent to junk. And the J-hooks on here are just tiny, small. The chain on here, everybody complains about the Duke chain. You know, it is flower pottering chain, but you know, a coyote is not going to pull this chain apart. You know, I would rather have the thicker, heavy duty chain, but you know, this chain, it's not falling apart. It's not going to come apart. But I mean, on the Duke trap, they got 4 little spot welds right there, holding the whole frame together. And I mean, just look how thick that frame is. You can take this frame and just bend it back and forth with ease. You know, I mean, before when I would have traps, they'd sit too high, I'll just take the frame right here and bend it. You know, push the dog forward. I mean, when I caught a coyote, this frame was way back to here. I mean, you know, that's another reason. I mean, Duke's traps, if you're starting out, you know, and you don't know if you really want to do it, I'd buy 6 Duke traps because they will catch and hold coyotes. If you know you want to do it and you want a better quality product, I would go with Bridger traps. You know, they cost a little bit more, but you're just getting a lot better quality. They sit a lot flatter than what the Duke traps do. Usually when I get my pan, it sits up about that high. And what you want is it just to sit flat, and it sits up about like that. Another thing I don't like is this round jaws. I did have one sharp jaw, and I filed it off. But, you know, I think that's just what you're going to get if you buy enough traps. Bridger traps, I only bought 6 of them, and I haven't found a sharp jaw yet, but I think I will eventually. But also with the Bridger traps is the MB. I mean, these aren't MB Crunch Proof swivels, but they're heavy duty swivels. I mean, just look at the difference between the J-hook on the Bridger trap and the J-hook on the Duke trap, and just the thickness. I mean, look at that. It's just hair thick on the Duke, just a lot heavier on the Bridger. And also, they come side swivel right here. I like a base plate, because also these springs, especially if you replace the springs, after a while it'll bend your trap upwards, and you don't want that. You want these traps to last a long time. You know, you spent a lot of money on them. So I'd invest in putting base plates on here and a D-ring, and then if you're doing that, you might as well get a better chain and just take off these swivels. These swivels are just junk. In my case, the whole trap is just not what you're looking for, not what I'm looking for if I want to be a better trapper. I'd go with Bridger traps. You know, they're a little bit more expensive, but you're getting a lot better quality trap than the Duke. I mean, I'll give you an overall look of the Duke again, just how, you know, just not how it's just built very well. You know, I've already stripped out the screw and bolt on there to just nothing, pretty much. On the Bridger, you know, I mean, haven't done that. I started getting a little bit on the edge, but I mean, right away, when I put the screwdriver in here, it just stripped it right away. It just didn't want to catch. It just ate away at that bolt. So, you know, if you're gonna go with the Duke traps, and what you got to do, first thing I'll do is replace the swivels and the chain, and then the bolt and nut. You know, I'd set the pan back a little bit farther so the trap will lay a little bit flatter, but that's my opinion on traps. Like I said, I'd go with the Bridger, a lot better made, you know, a lot better quality. You are paying a little bit more, but you're getting a lot better quality product. Like I said, it comes base plated with a D-ring and better chain, a lot better swivels. So, I mean, if you want to put all of this on a Duke trap, you can, but it's probably going to equal about the same price. So, I'll just go with the Bridger, because you're not going to replace the frame on that. So, those are just the two kinds of traps I run on my coyote lines. I'm starting to lean away from Duke, as you can tell, to Bridger. Because, like I said, Bridger is just a lot better quality trap. We can lay flat because of that D-ring down there. But I mean, if you're walking a lot farther, you know, you got to walk out to all your spots. I wouldn't put on a base plate and D-ring, because that adds weight. But I can mainly drive or walk to most of my locations and get there easily by carrying a couple traps. So those are just the traps I run on my lines. I'm running about a dozen Dukes and a half dozen Bridgers now. Bought the Bridgers this year, and I loved them right away. I'll be able to tell more once they get into season, be able to test them out a little bit more. I did have 2 misses on the Dukes this year. I don't know if it's from the springs just wearing out a little bit, or from they just hit the edge of the pan and they just popped out somehow. I don't know. But that's another reason why I got the Bridger. Got more space, square jaws than the round jaws. But that's just my opinion on traps, and what I like. Don't forget to comment, subscribe, and rate. Alright, thanks.